Hey, what up and welcome to another episode of Creased. This is the third and final episode from my recent Melbourne trip. Now, when I go to Melbourne usually, not say the last time, or kind of last time, usually my first point of contact is going in the city shopping. I had been there for several days and hadn't been and done any shopping outside of going to the kickstand event, which you can see last episode. I didn't go anywhere looking at shoes, so we had to rectify that. We have done no shopping this whole trip. I've been here for a few days, no shopping. Let's do that. Let's do that. First store I went into was Adidas. I managed to find some all-day parking for like 14 bucks, which is crazy because Sydney ain't got that. So I went in there. They had the NMD S1s, but not in a colorway I liked. They were a little bit more neutral colorways. There is one that I've seen at JD prior. Then we went into the Under Armour shop. I'm not big on Under Armour. They actually make probably the best fitness shorts I've ever had, but in terms of shoes, they're not really for me. I had a look at some Currys and that sort of thing, the basketball shoes, just to show. And it is interesting that they have an Under Armour shop in Melbourne. I know that it was a pretty big deal when it did open initially, but I'm not a big Under Armour person. I've had a pair of shorts in Under Armour and that's about it. So. And then, yeah, when I went to JD Sports, they actually had those NMDS ones that I like. I think last time I saw them in the white, and now I've seen them in the black with the multicolored. It kind of looks 3D with the bits. I don't even know what you would call those things, but it's grown on me, man. I feel like if I ever see them on sale, I'll probably buy them. I don't know. Adidas really hasn't done anything for a minute. They're going back to their bag with the Campus and the Sambas, I want to say. But these, in terms of a modern shoe, I like these, the NMDS one. So we'll see. If they ever go on special or whatever, we'll see. main place I enjoy going to usually is the Nike store or / Jordan store. The downstairs area they call a Jordan store, but it's just kind of like that's where the Jordan product is. I don't know. It's meant to be like a Jordan flagship store. The Nike, they had some dunks, some 90s, but nothing really crazy. The Jordan wall, or downstairs, like, there was nothing there, really. There was a couple of things, like, I mean, I say there's nothing there, right? There's still a lot more than, say, my local Nike store has. There was a random pair of kids Jordan 1s that I saw, and I sent them to Rorks. I'm like, yo, the kids would love these because they want Michael Jordan shoes. But yeah, other than that, there really wasn't anything too crazy. They were doing another collab. I think the artist was Bulga. I don't know, I wasn't really feeling the designs. I did want to go in there and do a custom shirt, but I started playing around. I'm like, nah, I don't really like these. Like with how they did last time. Then they did the train on the back, or the tram. Yeah, I think it's a tram, I don't know, maybe a train. But yeah, the graffiti aspect of that I really liked, but I wasn't really feeling the Bulga designs. No shade, I hear he's an Australian artist, but just not for me. Finally seen the hype exclusive 1960s, the purple and green. Huge like medallion type thing saying exclusive. I don't know if that's just for display or they come with your pair. Me personally, I probably won't be finding out. The purple and green, they're not really colours that I would wear. They had a lot of pumps though, which is again something I don't see at my local hype. I only ever see when I go to Sydney or obviously Melbourne in this trip, but I'd love to see some pumps out and about, man, for real. Foot Locker though at QV had the heat. Man, like sitting, the Lucky Green sitting, White Cement 1 sitting, White Cement 3 sitting, and like they had this weird, it was like a Nike GT low, but it was kind of like a PE, but it said Nike Universities. So it was almost like a fake PE, but they were cool. They had like all the attention to detail as if they were doing a PE. Maybe they do that as a mock-up and then they show it to the schools and like, hey, we'd do something similar for you if you want. I don't know. But I liked them. They were cool. Something different. Something different too was the Puma Jeff Staple collab. I really like them. I don't think I would wear a yellow shoe outside of like the taxis or even the Pollens. That being said, I think I only worn the Pollens once, so. But yeah, they were cool, and it's cool seeing that type of stuff, but where they were like sort of situated in the store, it's like no one's really paying attention to them, so obviously they're not that popular. But Jeff Staple collabs, if you know, the Pigeon Dunk, the Panda Pigeon Dunk, which we actually saw at the Kickstand event like multiple times. Crazy. But yeah, they had the heat, man, for real. I mean, look, call it heat, call it whatever, another man's brick is another man's grail, you know what I mean? But it's crazy to see them sitting, whereas like if you put them in Newcastle, they would sell out. People could say they're bricks, whatever, but I still see people trying to resell them, so it is what it is. It was cool though. From there, I was looking for supply, and then I just happened to stumble on Shaw, Melbourne. So I followed their IG for a minute and checked the store out. The store has got the dopest hip hop cross punk skater aesthetic going on, and yeah, really dope. I actually meant to go back and grab one of the hats, but I forgot, so maybe I'll just get it online. Stores are always down some like random alleyway. It's crazy. I guess it's something to do with like rent or whatever, but I haven't really seen nothing I want yet. Let's keep going. Yeah, Shaw's probably got to be one of the best sort of aesthetically pleasing stores that I've been into. It's kind of got the vibe of a resale store with all the toys and knickknacks and all that type of stuff, but it's a retail space, so It's dope. I enjoyed it. They do their own clothing too. They've done collabs. It's dope. From there we checked out Supply. They had Reimagine 3 sitting. They had the ATL Dunks. They had the Air Max 1 Big Bubbles. I was trying to see if like my luck with the Run the Jewels at the time, but no good. They had a bit more Supreme than say Supply in Sydney. I feel like it's a different vibe at Supply Melbourne. Everyone's so chill at Supply Sydney. This guy was like, I'm not going to say, you know, wasn't cool. He was nice to talk to. Like, we were chilling and talking and everything. But, like, he had a more assertive demeanor, I guess. And just the overall vibe. They're two completely different stores, man. Even though they're owned by the same people, they are the same company. But just two different vibes. And no one is better than the other. It's just different. From there we went to Up There, and apparently they've moved since because they've had this whole sale on for 25% off. Had they like mentioned that shit when I was there, maybe I pulled the trigger on something, I don't know, but you know, in the moment, 25% off, I might have done something. But yeah, they had a bunch of stuff. They still had the Up There 2002R Backyard Legends 2 there. And I, you know, got to check it out in hand. I don't feel like I'd ever wear it, personally. I really like it. I love what they did. You know, they killed it in that aspect, but it's just not something that I would wear, right? Had they told me 25% off, I might have changed my mind. I might have got caught up in that moment, but aesthetically, their store, how they had like the jungle with the elephant there, then they had the Reimagine 3, that was cool. I just thought that was really cool. And then we went to Foot Locker, Queen Street Mall, Foot Locker, and that had so many Jordans sitting, it was crazy. I mean, you've seen it. Just share that shit around. It's a house of hoops similar to what Town Hall Foot Locker is. So, you know, they get a little bit more stock, bit more allocation. That's why it's sitting, but crazy. Went to Fast Times as well. They didn't really have anything, and then I had some lunch, and that was it. So, no pickups in a whole trip to Melbourne. It's never happened before. Usually there might be some clothing. There was nothing. Like, maybe I'm at a point where I got too many sneakers. I don't know. But I was going to go shopping on the Monday, but I was so hungover. we had some fun on the Sunday night. Javante Davis fight, playoffs. I was meant to watch the playoffs. I missed most of it. And then we had a Sunday roast. One thing leads to another. It's a tale as old as time. But at least we have the memories. But yeah, that whole Monday was thrown off. I was going to do some shopping, maybe go to outlets, different places around. That shopping centre I went to last time, I can't even remember what it was, but Fountain Gates maybe, or something. There was some fancy one, but yeah, they had a lot of stuff there. And then on Tuesday, when I was sort of heading out, I was like, yeah, I'll do something. I'll go in the city again, maybe I'll check some other places, outlets, that sort of thing. And then I realised it was Anzac Day and nothing open till 1 PM. So I wanted to be on the road well before then. So it just ended up like that. So no pickups, unfortunately. But, you know, definitely some stuff sitting. If I didn't already have a pair of Lucky Greens, if I didn't already have a pair of, well, 2 pairs of the Reimagine 3s, the White Cement 1s, like, there was a bunch of stuff that I already have that, say, I get caught up in a moment and I see them, I probably would have bought. But it is what it is. I'm still kicking myself I didn't get the Clark Kent SB Dunks. The thing with the Orange Lobsters and the Lost and Found, right? So many people, when I told them what I was thinking about doing, like Hendo, like Derek, they were like, that's a bad trade, don't do it. Even with the cash on top, they're like, yeah, look, Lost and Founds are cool, but this is, you know. So they kind of talked me out of that. I'm hanging on to it, right? Yeah, I didn't even check out any of the resale stores like Kicks TW last time I did. That places off its head. So, but there'll be plenty of other opportunities. Maybe next time. I was meant to do some collection videos too, and I just never got around to it. I brought a little bit of gear, nothing crazy. But I also, when we did the sneaker event, I met a dude who goes by Too Fat to Ball on Instagram, and he had some LeBron samples that were like 2K USD, right? Crazy. He bought his missus for her birthday, the pink print 6s. Crazy. His collection, they are in the process of moving or renovating, I believe, but his collection, like prior to that, was wild, and he's happy for me to come through and do it. So next time I go to Melbourne, maybe we do a little less fraternizing, a little bit more of the collection videos. Might even have to bring a laptop with me to edit on the fly and do all that type of stuff. But Melbourne was fun. I reiterate, get out to a kickstand event. It's more than just sneakers, because they're super fun. Lots of cool people. There is like a vibe or an element for everybody. Like, I feel like Melbourne was completely different to Sydney, but Sydney reflected Sydney, Melbourne reflected Melbourne. I don't know. Maybe I need to go to a third one to kind of see where it's at. Which one should I go to? Maybe Queensland. I'm due for a Queensland trip. We'll see. But this has been another episode of Creased. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, leave it down below. We'll be back twice a week. Peace.